So groups, the standard has always been use groups. Do not use explicit names. And I go and I look at client environments, and in the server document, and in ACLs, I see explicit names all over the place. And when I ask them, why are you using explicit names instead of groups? I frequently get the response, groups don't work. And my response back is, actually, groups work really well. If groups aren't working, it's a symptom of an underlying issue somewhere. And so then that comes about the question, well, how do we go about troubleshooting and figuring out where the issue was? And there are a couple of places in both the notes client and the administration client that allow you to see how groups are actually working in the environment. And first way of looking at groups and, for example, a particular database and what a user has access to is going to the access control list and doing effective access. And this has been around, I think, since Note 6 or 7. It's been around for a while, but not a lot of people, I show it to people and they're like, wow, I never knew what that button did. But if you click on effective access and you then go ahead and you enter in a name, find a person in your address book, it calculates what level of access this person has. So it shows you the access level, any flags that are enabled, and also if you have roles defined for the database, it'll show you role membership as well. And then even more importantly here on the group side, not only am I seeing a list of all of the groups that on this workstation it thinks the user belongs to, but it also shows you how the user is getting their level of access. So in the case of the manager rights that I am right now getting, if I scroll through, I look for check mark or check marks. Sometimes there may be multiples, but ultimately it's telling me I'm a member of local domain admins, and that's how I'm getting my manager rights to this database. Very similar way of getting information is within the workstation. For any database that you have active, you have a security icon. And this icon picture does change based on your level of rights to the active database. But when you click on that security icon, again, you get a list of all of the groups that this workstation thinks you're a member of. And keep in mind that the list of groups that this workstation thinks you're a member of is based on the groups in the address book of your home mail server. And again, if I scroll through it, I can see how I'm listed, what groups I'm a member of, and more importantly, I'm looking for the check mark or check marks, and the check marks tell me what group I'm a member of. Okay, so that tells me what this workstation thinks I'm a member of. You can also take this to the server level, and by making a particular server active in the admin client, you can then go to the People and Groups tab, and you can go over here to Tools, Groups, Manage. Here, you then go ahead and find a particular person, like me again, and I then change this radio button to say Only Member Hierarchies. This is now showing me a list of all the groups I'm a member of. And also, if I expand out the groups, you can see, like in this company calendar admins group, I'm directly listed. If I scroll down and I click on another group, you then see that it provides a nesting hierarchy. So I am actually a member of one employee's RPR Wyatt employees group, which is then listed in the To Everyone group. So using these three options, you can figure out what a server or what a workstation thinks a user is a member of what groups. And once you have that information, then you can go about figuring out what might be going on with a group or your server environment of why a workstation or a server doesn't see that membership. Often I see group type is improperly configured. Somebody has created a group and it was a mail-only group, so they defined it as a mail-only group. And then through the life of the group, it was like, oh, we created this database and the same list of users need to be able to access the database, so we'll put in the database ACL. Well, you can't use a mail-only group to do access control, so you have to change the group type in order to properly use it. Also, sometimes you have NAB replication issues. The directory, if it is not properly replicating from your hub server down to a user's home mail server, then they're not going to get group membership. Sometimes you also see duplicate groups. So you have two groups in the address book that have the exact same name. But if you look at the member list is different. So whatever algorithm the Domino server is using to grab a group, it's only going to get one of those groups. And if it's grabbed a group that I'm not a member of, then I don't have group membership. So what I have to do as an administrator is I need to look at the group, I need to somehow merge the membership list, and then just have one group with that name on my Domino server environment. And then finally, replication saved conflicts can cause a similar type of issue. So it's important to keep an eye on your replication saved conflict documents in your Domino directory.